Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m., and that's on the Eastern time zone, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. I don't want you to get in trouble with the boss, so if you're at work, don't watch the show, okay? Find it other ways. You can find us on Facebook.com/DFeazell. You can also find us on YouTube, all the social media sites that are out there, X, the whole works. So we want to keep in contact with you. Continue, by the way, sending emails. Makes my day. Send an email to Donna@DonnasEdge.com. That's Donna@DonnasEdge.com. Now, remember, this is your show. It's not mine, okay? You're the star of it, and you tell me the kind of items that you would like to see on there. And a lot of you have talked to me about, how do I say better organized? How can I organize my life? And that's why I have my friend Michele Bland with me right now. And she has written several books. And so she has also published a journal, something that you can make your own. Michele, welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you. Glad to be back.
Oh, anytime. Let's talk about that journaling, why journaling is so important.
Yes, I think it's a good way to vent, get your feelings out. And that was one of the reasons that, I took the time out to make the journal. The journal helps you keep track of your partners. It helps you, really, you can journal and write down your feelings, after you have the encounter. And I think, that's important. It'll help you in the event that, God forbid, you ever, catch an STD. It'll help you track who you possibly caught it from. If you get pregnant, it'll help you determine who the father is if you're not with a regular partner. And then another thought on, like I said, have the business, whatever happened. If you're keeping something like this, then if you encounter somebody crazy that would, hurt you sexually or unalive you, it could possibly help the police track down, who that person was, especially if you're keeping consistent, consistently writing in who you're being with. So when I created the journals, it was all about women. And up in the corner, I have a picture of the one for the Black females, but I also have them for white females. So if you go on Amazon, you'll find them. There's one in the corner, and then there's this one. Mm-hmm. You'll find them. They're under my name, Michele Bland. And I would hope that it would help, females take charge of their sexual life. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to be judgmental, but to help you hold yourself accountable.
There you go.
When you're young, you can get a little carried away. Mm-hmm. And it's great if you're keeping it documented, I think, and you see it, I think that, it'll make yourself accountable to how many encounters you have. And like I said, it's not to be judgmental, because everybody is raised different and their views on sex is different. So, whoever's floating your boat, just be careful. That's just
But I want to bring something else out there too, because people are meeting more people online than ever before. And there are predators out there, and some people try to keep these a secret. They don't want anybody to know they're talking with somebody online. That could be, using social media for different things. A lot of times, and I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I keep using the word predator because it's totally true. In a lot of these cases, it could end your life. They try to rob you of your money, your finances, and that kind of thing. So it would be really great to keep a journal like this. So if you met somebody online, and it could be a fake person now, because they'll change their name and they'll use somebody else's account as well. But if something, for heaven forbid, were to happen to you, well, then you'd have some backup information for your family, maybe to find the predator.
Right. And because it's hard if you're not keeping track of who you're meeting or dating or being with, and if you're keeping a hard copy. I mean, if you're worried about somebody, come in your room seeing it, just hide it, but have something
Mm-hmm.
somewhere so that if something would happen to you, that somebody would be able to go and get justice for your family.
Well, there was a predator in your life once, and having a journal like this would have probably helped you as well.
Yes, yes, it probably would have.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was my whole idea when I created these journals to empower women. I mean, there's
You
no
know
better way to
something,
put it.
Michelle, sometimes if you just write something down, if you just write your thoughts down, it's a good way to keep track of what you are doing because sometimes, I mean, I'm just telling you, time flies by, and sometimes we just forget to write things down. If we don't want to remember it, maybe something happened and we just want to keep it out of our lives.
Right.
But this could be a way for you to go back and reflect, and not to cause yourself harm or to make you feel bad about a situation, but it kind of helps keep you on your toes there. It kind of helps you to, like, well, I did that. I probably shouldn't have. And it could just a good reminder for the soul, for the mind.
Yes. And I think it helps you to track patterns of the types of men that you're dating. And I think
Mhm.
that could really, really be important. If you're journaling, like if you always seem to get someone that seems to
Mhm.
cheat on you, it'll help you to keep track of the type of men, that you're allowing in your life.
Mhm.
So I just think that overall, it's important. It's important for women. It really is.
Mhm.
Because, in the dating world, you want to be safe. Because anymore, you don't know what you're getting
Mhm.
until you get it home and unwrap it, so to
Mhm.
speak. So, yeah, I think it's really important. And like you said, if you're online with somebody, whether you're with them or not, write it down.
Mhm.
Write it down and just put on their, internet friend. And if you make plans, write it in there, especially if you're on.
That's extremely important because it can be a situation where it could be a killer out there and
Hmm.
they're trying to get you to meet them somewhere.
Hmm. And anybody
It's
that you are online and
extremely
date, you
important.
need to document it. You really
Mhm.
need to. It's important. But and I'm hoping that women will go to Amazon and see it and like it. And like I said, you can get it in different colors. Um, and I'm working on, like I said, maybe doing it also with different races, women like Chinese, Korean, or whatever.
Mhm.
So everyone feels like there's something there for them.
Mhm. Well,
So
let's talk about this just a little bit because, I mean, when you fall in love or you think you've fallen in love, and it's more like you've fallen in lust rather than falling in love, there's a difference between the two there.
yes,
And sometimes, people will say things and you want it to be true. I mean, we've all met somebody like that. But then there's some
yes.
signals that tell you that it may not be the true thing. It could tell you that's probably not even their name. Can you think of some ways that maybe you could just, there's something's wrong with this picture, something's not quite right?
Sometimes I think it's just your instinct. I mean, if you feel like something is wrong, if you listen to your instinct more than likely is right.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go on a date with somebody and something's not feeling right, excuse yourself. Tell them you're going to the bathroom and don't come back. You
Climb
know,
out the window, do something. Because there are so many cases where this person feels like Prince Charming or Princess Charming. Because this could apply to men too.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct. Because there are crazy women out there too. So you're
Mhm.
absolutely correct on that point. But I've been out of the dating field for a long time. So, and it's changed. Like I said, everything has changed. Because
Mhm.
I was in a committed relationship for almost 20 years. And then after, we broke up, that was it. I dedicated myself to my children and my job.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much all I did was work and take care of the kids.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But yeah, it means a lot to me, this journal, to get it out there to women. And even if you don't buy my journal, buy somebody's journal and keep track of it. Because it's that important
Mhm.
to keep up with your dates and who you're being with. So that being said, ladies, let's take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. We need to. So let's talk about a few things online because you can do screenshots. You know, people will delete an email they sent, or they may delete a Facebook comment, or they may, delete an instant messenger or something like that. And you think, well, I have no proof of it. But if you'll do a screenshot, screenshots don't die. I mean,
That's true.
screenshot is forever. So if somebody makes threats to you, something you consider as a threat, it'd be a great idea to go ahead and do a screenshot and save it on your computer.
That's true. That's a great idea. That is absolutely correct. And I don't know about you. Well, you know what? I was getting ready to say something, and then I thought about the time period. I was getting ready to say, did you ever date online back in the day? But actually, that online dating didn't come up until like years probably after me and you.
I don't know that I would have trusted that. I mean, there've been dating sites for a long time. You just call, a toll-free number or something. Because I've heard some of my friends talking about doing that, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Because you really, really
Kind of
don't know.
scary.
All you see is a picture, and what if you go meet this person, at a restaurant or something somewhere, and they look nothing like the picture? I
Catfish.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that can happen.
Yeah. I don't think if it had been back in the time, if they had been doing online dating back in my day, I don't think that I would have done it because I would have been afraid.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's so many crazy people out there that will use it to misrepresent who they are. So I think I would have been afraid to do it. I like the old-fashioned way. You meet somebody at the grocery store, you meet somebody at the laundromat, or someone in your family, has a friend
Uh-huh.
that they think would be good for you, and you go out and you date.
Mhm.
I like that way better. The old-fashioned ways. They may be old-fashioned and outdated, but I still think
They're not
that
outdated as far as I'm concerned. Not
I
at
just
all.
and especially like on a safety level, it
Mhm.
works. You know what I
Well, there are
mean?
more diseases. There are more things that are out there now that could
Yes.
kill you, or you, heaven forbid, you get some disease and you can't get rid of it, and you're stuck with it for life.
Yeah, and that's scary. All on its own. So yeah, I just really want women to be safe and don't get caught. You meet somebody like you were saying, you're all in love and they look like you're Prince Charming, and sometimes you don't think.
Mhm.
You just go on with what you feel, and sometimes feelings can get you in trouble. They
Uh-huh.
can get you in serious trouble. So
Well,
I just
it's
want,
a lot of us are dreamers anyway, and now Phil and I were just friends for a long time. And I'd been through a divorce, he had been through a divorce, and we just wanted to be friends because we were hurt, by our exes. And so, every time Phil would just call me up and say, "Hey, Mother's Day's coming up. Will you help me go pick something out for Mother?" Well, we'd go jump in the car. Brad would be with us. Brad was part of the
yeah,
package. But I wouldn't date people because they would, if I even noticed any kind of a smirk on their face, if I mentioned my son, if I noticed anything that just didn't seem right to me,
right,
adios, because he was part of the package. And then you got to be
right.
careful with people who act like the kid is okay, and then once they get into that relationship, they want to get rid of the kid. You know what,
Yeah.
Michelle? I can't believe this. Half the show's already over. We've got to go into a
Oh,
commercial. I can't believe this. It happens every time. We'll be right back
okay.
in just a few minutes. Everybody hang around.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing, including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.
We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday. We got my friend Michele Bland with us. Michele and I have been friends for a very long time. And so we lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. How's Charlotte going, by the way?
Yes.
It's still going
It's
good.
great up here. It's still growing. It's growing so fast you wouldn't believe it. But I mean, I still feel like it's a great place to live. I love it here.
Mm-hmm. I always loved it.
But actually, I miss home a lot because I come from West Virginia, and I miss home a lot. The pace here is like a little faster, but not like it's not fast like New York City fast, but it's a little faster than back home. Back home, it was just so
Well,
limited.
it depends on where you live. Where we lived, it was close to Mountain Island out that way. The store was out that way. It was a little
Hmm.
slower pace because Charlotte is made up. It's almost like several cities within one big city.
Yeah,
And it just
that's
really
right.
depends on where you're at. But I loved it. And I mean, it was just a great, great place. And I got a lot of good friends like you out there. We still stay in contact. And I'm
Yeah,
glad we are because gosh, it's been probably 15 years, I guess, since we moved.
yeah,
And so here I can't believe that either. But you're
yeah.
doing great things. I'm so glad you have written this journal. And I'm so glad that you've got that out there for folks to get. It's on Amazon.com, and you'll see like that. And there are different other design pages that you've done. Did you design that yourself?
I'm going to be honest with you. I used ChatGPT to help me to design it. I had the
Uh-huh.
idea in my head, and I
Uh-huh.
went to ChatGPT and I told it what I wanted, and it came up with that. And so for each journal, I would tell it what I wanted, the color of it, the wording, and all that, and it created it for me.
Hmm. That is
Uh,
awesome.
I'm gonna be up. That ChatGPT it's a lovely thing to help you with stuff. I'm currently working on another project, another book, and the covers it's like probably the biggest thing that I get the help with from ChatGPT.
Hmm.
Sometimes I go there and I know exactly what I want, and I tell it, and it builds it. Sometimes I don't, and I'll tell it I'm writing a book. This is the title, and it will come up with things for me to choose from. And then sometimes I'll take what it produces for me and tweak it a little bit to make it what I want it to be.
Hmm.
So for anybody who's never used ChatGPT, it's wonderful, fabulous.
Do you have to
Um,
pay for that, or is there a part of it that's free?
they have a free one, but you don't get to use it as much. You have like limits set on how many images you can create a day.
Mhm.
I have mine is $20 my subscription, and I
Mhm.
think the next one is like $200, which that's like a little bit much for me. But
Winnie is
that's
going to be
probably
more
like
my
for a
budget.
company. Uh,
That's more my budget, $20.
yeah, so I like the $20 version because it still
Mhm.
gives me the same, the same thing. The free version will give it to you, but like I said, you have limits on how much you can do a day.
Yeah.
So like I'd be trying to create a image, and after so many creations, it'll cut you off until you have to wait till your time resets, and that can get aggravating. If
Yeah.
if you have the time to wait, it's okay. But if you're
Especially if you've
trying
got a
to get
great idea. You got that idea and you got to get it out there.
right, because
Yeah.
sitting around waiting, sometimes you forget stuff. So I
Mhm.
like having the paid version because with the paid version of ChatGPT, I can do what I need to do and not have to keep getting cut off and saying, come back tomorrow, come back when the time resets. I just get it done while I'm sitting right there. So that's what I like about the paid version. But
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit more about relationships and I know that I'm older, so I can tell you a lot of stuff what not to do. But I can tell you what to do, and I can tell you before you start a relationship, you got to be friends first. Now, when my grandmothers told me that, I thought that's a crazy idea. Why do I got to be friends first? I get it now. You
yeah,
really do need to become friends. You got to know that you're compatible.
right. I was thinking that when you were talking about how you and Phil started off, that establishing a friendship is to me is an important foundation to build your relationship on.
Mhm.
So I agree with that totally. To meet someone, to be friends with them first. That way, you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly before you get into anything serious. So yeah, I totally agree with your grandmother that you should be friends first. It's an
Well, I'll
important
tell
thing
you
to
something.
establish.
A friend of mine, it was a coworker, somebody I worked with, had lived with this guy, I think for like 10, 12 years, something like that. And you would think
Mhm.
living with someone that long, you pretty much well know them. Well, there's something about them getting married. and they were divorced within a year. I mean, it was just like when I heard they were divorced, I thought it was a joke. And I go, are you kidding me? I thought they really knew each other, and they lived in a small house. You have to know somebody living in a small house, where you share the bathroom and that kind of thing. But there was just something that happened. They just, I don't know. They didn't make it.
I think there's something about getting married and having it on paper that sometimes for some people it changes things. That may not be
for
true.
The better with us.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that they'd have a great relationship with an individual before they got married, and then when they got married, that the person changed. And I do think it's got something to do with the fact of it being on paper, and some people feel like, oh, they're trapped now. Because, when you're not in a relationship, both you can walk away at any time. But as soon as
I enjoy being
some
trapped.
people, they. But I think for some people, as long as they feel like they still have their freedom and they can walk away, they're okay. But once you find that paper, I think people feel like, they're trapped, which to me, that's crazy. Even if you do sign a paper, you can still walk away whenever you want to. That's why they have divorce, I would think, to me, that piece of paper should make you feel bonded to that person.
Yeah.
If you establish that friendship and you've got that love and you've got that trust, I would think that the paper would like solidify it and just make you feel more bonded to that person. But everybody doesn't think that way. Some people do. Some people feel trapped and just want to get out after they get married. So it really is going to depend on the individual and how they think. You know what I mean?
But to have a relationship with someone, if someone feels trapped, I don't want to keep them. I mean, it's like, then bye.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I have been by myself for the last almost 20 years. When me and my ex broke up, I didn't really want to get back out into dating because I felt like a dinosaur. Because, like I said, things are so different. My views are so different. And I felt ancient. And so I just never went back to dating again. I just stayed by myself. And, like I said, I focused on the kids. I work a lot. And
well, I think you're a very smart lady. I really do. Think about the situations you've not gotten yourself into, and you just never know, Michele. Mr. Right could still come along.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath, but and I'm at the point now where I feel like, would it even be a good thing for me to be in a relationship? Because when you're by yourself for so long, you get set in your ways and how you want things, and I don't even know now if it would even be a good idea after being by myself for so long. I don't even know if it'd be a good idea for me to even attempt to get in a relationship because I'm comfortable. I think a lot of people get in a relationship looking for that person to make them happy. You have to make your own self happy.
Spot on.
Once you're happy, then you can be in a relationship.
And you can make somebody else happy.
Right. You can't look, and I think a lot of women, this is a mistake they make. They get with a man and they look for him to make them happy. And, when it doesn't work that way, and I feel sorry for a lot of men because, you got to be happy yourself. You can't put that burden on somebody else.
Can you believe we're at the end of the show? Can you believe it? Okay, let's talk about the journal again.
Conversation.
The journal again, and you can go to Amazon and get this. Okay, and I suggest that you do that. You need a tracker, especially. I'm just saying, especially if you meet somebody online, there could be the possibility that your family can rescue you. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Michele, so much for being on the show with me. It's always a pleasure. Now you hang around, okay? Because I need to get you set up for next month. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We definitely appreciate it. Send emails. They make my day. Donna@donnasedge.com. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.